Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim for The Real Sports Talk. You can hit me up on Twitter at CashKelly_TRST. Last week I did the Notorious B.I.G. Top 10 songs, and a while ago I did the Eminem Top 10 songs. If you want to see either of those videos, go to my channel, youtube.com/MrKelstar, and go under the Cash Music Talk playlist, and you will see both of those. And what I'm going to try and do is do like one of these videos a week. It just all depends how much sports news there's going on. Obviously that comes first. This is just kind of something to do because I like talking about music as well, and I think that most people are into also talking about this along with sports, so I think it's good. It'll help the channel get bigger, so I like doing it. Today I'm going to do the Dr. Dre Top 10 songs, and first off I want to ask you guys something. Leave this in the comments below your opinion on it. Is Dr. Dre, is it wrong to think that Dr. Dre is a top 5 rapper of all time? Because I know he doesn't have a ton out, and I wanted to wait till Detox came out to do this video, but the bottom line is I might be waiting for another 10 years for that to actually happen, so I wasn't going to do that. So I just decided to do it off what we have out of Detox so far, and not many of those made the cut for this, and what we have off the Chronic and the Chronic 2001 for this video. But the Chronic and the Chronic 2001 are just so good. There's a lot of rappers that I like that are considered top 5 rappers of all time, but many like Nas and Jay-Z. But I think Dr. Dre is a better overall rapper than them. I'll make a top 5 rappers list some other time, but I think that Dr. Dre would probably be in my top 5, so let me know what you think about that. I'll start at number 10 though. I'm going to go Kush. That is the only song that I have in this from Detox. I did not put I Need a Doctor, but Kush is a really good song, him and Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg does a really nice job, and also Akon really good in that song as well. Number 9 is Bitch, and then the N-word, which, I'm not going to say it because it's pretty much, as long as it's AS, well in this case it's AZ, but as long as it ends in the AS, most people don't make an issue about it, but I don't want to offend anyone or have any issues with any people because I'm white, so I'm not going to go there. Number 8 is the only song on this track that he pretty much only produced, but it was also on the Chronic 2001, and that's Explosive. Nate Dogg makes this song. He does a tremendous job, and he's on a few of these songs that make the top 10 list. Unfortunately, Nate Dogg passed away a few years ago because he was probably the best at doing hooks for rap songs in the history of rap. You think about all the good songs he's on. Explosive, there's a few other on this list. Till I Collapse, Gangsta Nation with West Side Connection, a bunch of good songs that he is on that he does the hook for, and he does a tremendous job. At number 7 I have Dre Day, him and Snoop Dogg, one of the earliest ones they did. That is a tremendous song. At number 6 I have Let Me Ride. That's off the Chronic 2000, or no, that's off the original Chronic, and that song, like, there's parts in between where Dre sings and I'm like, okay, this next verse is not going to be good. And then he comes back out and the next verse is even better than the verse before that. I think that that is one of his best songs. At number 5, I have the song that I think is his most underrated song, and that's What's the Difference. If you go watch the live performance from the Up in Smoke tour, by the way, Eminem, Exhibit, everyone involved with that, Ice Cube, please, Snoop Dogg, please have another one of those, because that was a little before my time, so I'd like to be able to go. I'd pay a lot of money to go see that. But What's the Difference? Dre's verse, incredible, and then the hook. What's the difference between me and you? Talk a good woman, she don't do what you're supposed to do. I think we all know people that applies to. Then Exhibit in the second verse. That is one of the best verses. That's by far his best verse of all time, but one of the best verses in the history of rap. An incredible job. And then Eminem in the third part, that was one of the earlier songs that he did with Dre, and he does a great job on that as well, and it's really pretty funny as long as you're not on as long as you're not Kim Mathers. It's really funny. At number 4 I have Ain't Nothing But a G Thing. This is the song I have the highest from the original Chronic. I understand that that was a great album, and I think that overall the original Chronic was a better overall album, but the Chronic 2001 had better, like, the best songs on that album were better than the best songs on the original one. I think that the original Chronic was a better overall album, but in terms of how many good songs were on it, but it wasn't as top heavy as the Chronic 2001 was. And the Chronic 2001 was a really good album. I'm not trying to act like it wasn't, but Ain't Nothing But a G Thing. I read a comment off this because I can't really relate to that song. I think it's a great song, but I don't live that type of life. But I read a comment off there, and it was obviously from GTA San something, but San Andreas, that's it. And a lot of people know it from there. But also, I read a comment on one of the YouTube videos saying this describes the life of living the gangster life in the early 80s or late 80s, and it captured that perfectly. At number 3, there was a big decision between number 3 and number 2 between these two songs. At number 3, I have Still Dre. Last week I mentioned that I thought Big Papa or In the Club with 50 Cent had the best overall beat in the history of rap, and I, for some reason, forgot this one. That is also right up there. And then Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, basically, that was the song that they came back on and said, yeah, we're still here, and everything along those lines. A great overall song by those two. At number 2, I had The Next Episode. Snoop Dogg goes in on this song, and if you watch the music video, it's really funny because of the hairdo he has. And the best part about the song is the guy that's in the background, Dr. Dre, motherfuckers. Yeah, that guy is like the best guy in the entire song. And then Dr. Dre's album, it's Dr. Dre's verse, I should say. It's Dr. Dre, motherfuckers. When he comes on and says that, that is probably one of the best verses he has as well. And then this is another one of the songs where Nate Dogg comes in. And the part that makes this song probably the most famous is that huge pause at the end where you think the song is over, and then he comes back on and goes, smoke weed every day. And at number 1, I'm going to go with Forgot About Dre. It was a tough decision between these first really 4 songs. I thought any of them could have been the number 1 song, and I think that overall Snoop and Dre are better collab than Eminem and Dre, although they're both great. Because Snoop and Dre were in Dre's earlier days, and Eminem didn't get to do nearly as much in Dre's prime, and even in his own prime. But Forgot About Dre is one of the top 10 rap songs I think of all time. A tremendous overall song. Dre's verse, both of Dre's verses are incredible, and then in the middle, Eminem does a tremendous job as well. And what I like about this song so much is you can also relate to something like that, where people kind of forget about something good that you've really done, and this was after he had, I mean, everyone knows that Dr. Dre takes a long time to put out these albums, and it really does suck, but once you see the final product, and hopefully it's the same way with this for Detox, once you see the final product that is put out there, you're like, you know what, you can be like one of these rappers now, like Lil Wayne, and I don't actually dislike Lil Wayne, but you can be like one of them where they release an album like once a year, and it's alright, maybe even really good, but it's not like a classic album. Both of the Chronics were 2 of the better rap albums that have ever come out, and when you see that, you can't really complain about how much time it takes in between the two. Forgot About Dre, that's a song I have at number 1. Really, if you go back and you look at the Up in Smoke tour at some of these performances, songs like Forgot About Dre, The Next Episode, Let Me Ride, Still Dre, What Ain't Nothing But a G Thing. Some of those songs, the performances live sound exactly the same way that they do on the album, or pretty close to it. So if there's not a music video for it, or if you're stuck watching it on Vivo where they edit it and it's really annoying, then go look at some of the videos from the Up in Smoke tour, because they are incredible performances, and really wish I could have gone to that. But bottom line, that's my top 10 Dr. Dre songs. Leave yours in the comments below, and if you have a disagreement with one of mine, let me know why. Also answer Snoop and Dre or Eminem and Dre, and the question I asked at the beginning, which I'm drawing a blank on right now. Like The Real Sports Talk on Facebook, and @CashKelly_TRST. Follow me on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.